Yes, we have got transcription as well, which always alarms me because it shows me just how lacking in clarity my speak is. Just for a bit of context, we've got a couple of careers leaders here. We've got Lindsay, who is careers leader at Denmark Road, which is grammar school in Gloucester, girls' grammar school, and then mixed at sixth form. And we've got Leon, who is the careers lead at Alderman Knight, which is a maintained special school focusing on young people with autism, more at the academic end of the spectrum. So they've got a post-16 where young people do six A levels as well. So that's the kind of mix we've got at the moment, but we hopefully will have you in the recording careers leaders from across the whole range of our institutions. So in terms of the context for tonight's CPD, looking at the changes in the benchmarks, there's a really significant change to benchmark 4, which is the fact that all subjects are expected to incorporate careers, whereas the previous benchmark was only English, maths, science and PSHE. It has now spread to across all subjects. And there's a real clear statement that staff should receive training in it as well. So when we're looking at things like our CPD calendars, you know, whoever runs out, whether that's your teacher and learning lead or whoever, careers needs to be part of that. So it's very much that all staff, classroom teachers and everyone is going to be more responsible for careers. And it may be that one route into that is by looking at the generic skills that cut across subjects rather than trying to think about subject-specific careers. I've also had a look at the interim findings from the curriculum review, and that refers quite a bit to skills, applied knowledge and readiness for life and work. And I think it wouldn't be a surprise in the kind of swing of the curriculum pendulum where we had the kind of Gove curriculum, which was really knowledge heavy, all about recall, not a lot about skills, and then we're having a curriculum review. I wouldn't be surprised to see the pendulum swing away from knowledge a little bit and towards skills again. We'll have to wait and see, but that's kind of a feel I'm getting from the interim review as well. And then we've obviously got the overall government skills agenda with them setting up Skills England, which is much more focused on kind of specific skills needed for specific industries and sectors, but there's this overall emphasis on skills. So that's the context in which we thought this might be a useful avenue to look at in terms of ways of addressing that within our schools. Rob, have you got anything you want to add to that? Oh. Okay, Rose, I'm going to hand it over to you then to tell us a little bit about what you do.
Great, thank you. And yeah, really interesting to hear that introduction there, because yeah, some really exciting changes happening in terms of the GAPTI benchmarks, where we now see Skillsbuilder and the universal framework actually specifically referenced there as a recommended tool to use to support careers education. So we work with all sorts of different settings, a wide range of areas across the country and different ages as well. So yeah, it really is a universal approach. And yeah, I'm looking forward to speaking to you more about it today. So just to introduce myself then briefly, my name's Rosa. I come from a teaching background. I used to be secondary French teacher, but I really felt in my time teaching that, as you say, this real focus on kind of exams and knowledge-based curriculum was just really leaving something lacking for our students when they left school, which is what led me to Skillsbuilder, where we focus on these 8 highly transferable essential skills. So we're going to start off then with just a bit more of an in-depth introduction into who we are as a partnership. So we are a collective impact organisation working with a range of stakeholders to achieve our vision that one day everyone will build the essential skills to succeed. So we work with over 600 schools, colleges and alternative settings all across the country, as you can see there. And we also work with employer partners and charity impact organisations as well. So I guess it's helpful then to think about what I mean by essential skills. So whereas we know that in education, knowledge, character attributes and skills are all really key, we think there needs to be more of a focus on skills. So if you think of basic skills are your literacy and numeracy skills when you first begin education, And then technical skills are those really subject or job specific skills. The missing piece in education currently is those essential skills that sit between the two, which are highly transferable regardless of context. So these are the communication skills of listening and speaking, the creative problem solving skills, problem solving and creativity, the self-management skills of staying positive and aiming high, and the interpersonal skills of leadership and teamwork. So what we do then is we've taken each of those 8 skills and given them consistent definitions and then broken them down into 16 teachable, tangible steps. So, you know, whereas quite a lot, when I was in school, we used to say things like, oh, you need to speak clearly, you need to make sure you can present. But what does that mean for students? There's kind of a lack of any sort of comprehensive framework to actually show students what is good speaking, how can I improve my speaking, and how can I make sure this is something that I can achieve. So that's what the framework aims to do by breaking these skills down into steps. So why then do these skills matter? So we are a research-based organisation, and this is just some of the key points from our research, but we can see that there's a real understanding that there is a skills gap in the workplace. Teachers agree that essential skills are as important or more important than academic achievement. And parents as well are starting to see more and more the importance of skills and would consider skill provision when choosing a school as well. We also see that the public values these skills. And what's really concerning is that we see a real kind of gap between how these skills are distributed across the UK in terms of those from more advantaged versus those from more disadvantaged backgrounds. This is really something that we're trying to address by making these skills accessible and teachable across all sorts of different education institutions. So we really want to give everyone the access and opportunity to build these skills. So how do we then support educators to build essential skills? So this is where the Skillsbuilder framework and tools and resources make a difference. So our main platform is the Skillsbuilder Hub. So this is a resource for teachers to use, and there's hundreds of resources on there, which you can access for free with a free account. There's hundreds of short lessons, assemblies, workshops, posters, certificates, as well as really career-specific resources, which we'll have a look at in a moment, and inclusion resources as well. So these are all available on our Hub platform, and we'll just post a link to that in the chat if you wanted to have a look. So, as I said, there's lots on there, so I won't go through it all today, but please do take a look. But I wanted just to highlight some of our career-specific resources. So we have career games and challenges available on the Hub as well. So we have things such as career cards, which you can see at the bottom of the screen here. So they're a bit like kind of top trumps cards where we look at different skills scores needed for different careers. So this is such a great kind of gamified version to spark those conversations about careers. The secondary version is also linked to subjects. So it's a great way of looking like, oh, if I'm really good at maths, what kind of career can I do with that? What do I need relevant skill scores for, and how could I get there? So it's such a great way to give students that knowledge of the kind of careers that are out there and how they can link to their strengths in terms of skills and subjects as well. We also have career challenges where learners apply the essential skills to short challenges. For example, applying creativity like musicians or listening like journalists, for example. So these are really, really fun 20 to 30 minute long challenges, which again is just a great way to engage students with the skills. And then for older students, we also have a mock interview pack, which contains everything that you would need to prepare for and deliver a skill-based interview. So this is a great way to introduce learners to kind of interview language and help them to see how skills that they're developing all the time in school or college or education will prepare them for those job interview situations. So those are some of our career resources available on the hub. So we also have everything, all of these career resources that we just looked at takes its data from the Skillsbuilder Careers Explorer tool, which you might want to take a look at if I just share with you here. This is available again for anybody for free on our website. Chat there. And what this does is you can browse through thousands of jobs. There's kind of any job you can think of on there. So you select the job and it shows you the skills needed for that role within a range. So for example, here in ecologist, you need to have very good listening skills, but lower speaking skills. So this is where, again, you can kind of start those conversations with students on those different types of jobs that are out there and how they can be used. And we also have available on, as one of our partners, Career Insights Weeks, which are 45-minute employer Q&A sessions for up to 30 learners. So these are kind of live Q&A interactions where your students will have the opportunity to ask employers questions all about how they use their skills in the workplace and pathways to that workplace as well. So this is really valuable and we always get such positive feedback. You can see some of that there. We also have premium resources available, which are kind of whole days, 10 hours of fully resourced learning. And we have ones that are specific to certain industries. So we have future transport, which is all geared towards engineering. Startup success is all about business and enterprise. Law in action is all about the legal career. Bid to build is all about construction, town planning, anything like that. So if there is any specific careers that your students are interested in or any specific industries that you'd like to focus on as a school, this is a really great way to look at that. So these are just a few of the ones that we have available for a whole range of ages and different learners as well, which are really engaging ways to link to that world of work. Okay, so finally then, the best way to access all of these tools, resources and career provisions is through our accelerator program. So this is just one of the ways in which you can join partnership, but it's a really good time to join because we're currently accepting applications for the accelerator program. And this is where we will support you with a strategic approach to teaching essential skills. So I appreciate everything I've just said is quite a lot of information. By joining with us on an accelerator program, we will support you to find the best way for you and your students to use all of those resources available for you and really build that approach. So this is also then linked with training. So we offer in the first term training for a dedicated skills leader. So that's a fantastic CPD opportunity for whoever is responsible for leading on the programme in the school. We also offer strategy meetings where we plan that strategy with you. And we also offer teacher training sessions for your wider staff as well. So it's a really fantastic CPD opportunity and you are fully supported to embed the essential skills. The accelerator is fully funded by our partners in the first year. So it comes at no cost to the school in the first year. And we fundraise over £500,000 annually to be able to provide that for schools and colleges as well. So it's a really exciting opportunity. And as I said, now is the best time to get involved. So applications are open, but those places on funded programs are limited and they're allocated in 3 rounds. So the next round is coming up on the 23rd of May, so just before half term. If we do have spaces remaining after that date, we will open for a third round up until the 4th of July. And then we kind of review applications and allocate places after each round. But as you can imagine, it being a fully funded programme, it is popular. So it's definitely best to apply early on if you can, to make sure you secure that place. So I'll just pop the link to the accelerator application in the chat there. There we go. So was there any questions at all?
Rosa, regarding the application process, what are the criteria for kind of being allocated a place? What might be involved in going through the application?
So I can also send you, we also have available on the website a kind of top tips document. So it really just consists of, it's fairly quick and easy. There's just about 4 questions just around your motivation for applying. So yeah, thinking about how it aligns with your priorities as a school. And then also thinking about where it would fit in. So yeah, a little bit of thinking around how this would best fit in your context. And yeah, it's just kind of a few hundred words per question. But as I said, I will send round this top tips document, which goes through each of the questions in turn and supports you with that application. I think that's really helpful in just following those tips as well. Is yeah, hugely helpful in making sure that you've got those questions answered sufficiently to secure your place on the programme.
Lovely, thank you. And I think it's worth saying we do have a careers leader from one of our hub schools who's done the accelerator programme, and she said she's happy if anyone's interested in applying for it, she's happy to kind of talk through kind of what it involved and, you know, kind of what the workload was and that kind of thing. So if anybody's interested, contact me or Rob and we can put you in touch.
Fantastic. Yeah, that would be great as well. I think, I'm not sure if I mentioned that, but that is a real something that careers leads really value as well from the programme, is you have that networking with other similar settings. So it's a really great chance as well to connect with others who are also looking to have that careers and skills focus. So yeah, that would be great.
Has anyone else got any other questions for Rosa?
Just quickly, Rosa, is there any, so after the first year, is there any obligation or commitment to, you know, sign up to so many years or, you know, follow up?
Yeah, there's no obligation. There is the opportunity to continue on to a second year programme, but no obligation to, no.
Okay, thank you.
April?
Hi, that was going to be my question as well. What is the cost after the first year? Because obviously schools at the moment, their budgets are being cut and money is a real issue. And I just wondered what the cost would be after the first year.
Yeah, so it's there's different options to progress on to the second year. There's different options at different price points. These vary year on year. But it is quite competitively priced compared to similar programs. So for this year, the Accelerator Plus, which comes with similar sort of strategic support to the Accelerator program, is 1,650. But we have an option for digital membership, which is just sort of an online membership without that strategic support, which is 445. And that's where I think, you know, it's a really great opportunity. Lots of our schools, if they really make good use of the accelerator in the first year, they can move on to that digital membership, which is 445, so much cheaper for the budget because they've used that time really well on the accelerator to build their strategy, and they don't really need so much support. But as I said, there's no obligation. If it's if it's not for you, then there's no need to continue if it's not right for your setting. So that's something we'll work with you to find the best option as well.
And I think it's worth saying that a huge amount of your resources are available for free, aren't they? Including the teacher training modules and things like that.
Yes, yeah. So it's slightly different to the training we provide in program, but there is training on the hub, and the hub that I posted to is all lots of free resources. So yeah, I would definitely encourage you to use those.
Any other questions? Well, that is lovely. Thank you so much, Rosa. It was really helpful. And I will send out the transcript. If we say bye to Rosa now, and then if you just stay online and we'll just catch up, the rest of us, for a minute or two, and then we'll have a nice early finish. Okay. So thank you very much, Rosa.
Brilliant, thank you. I'll just put my email in the chat there. So if you do have any questions about the application process or anything like that, yeah, do drop me a message. But yeah, thank you so much for your time. It's been great to speak to you about it today.
Thank you.
Thanks everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
I'll stop recording now as well, I think, because we've got the main bits.